Other interesting political news, you have Vivek on Ukraine corruption of the government theft going viral. Now, this is no surprise to, well, should not be a surprise to anyone with a modicum of intelligence. Prior to the Russia-Ukraine conflict, war, whatever you want to call it, Ukraine was consistently rated as one of the most corrupt countries on the planet. And don't take my word for it, everyone talked about it. Independent media journalists, podcasters, even the mainstream media. They actually write for once, well, they were at the time. Even CNN, Wall Street Journal, they all noted how they have such high rates of crime, corruption over that country. The government just stealing left and right. And truth be told, who would have thought sending them over $200 billion without any accountability would have resulted in some fudging the numbers and some theft, or a lot of theft? Who would have thought? Oh yes, we all kind of knew. Now, Vivek is responding to Fox News, and Fox News said, quote, 5 Ukraine officials arrested over the theft of $40 million in war funds as Ukraine corruption persists, unquote. Now, Vivek responded, and he said, quote, the most remarkable truth of this story is that precisely no one is surprised to see it. Both parties are keeping the gravy train flowing, unquote. And within 24 hours, that got 1 million views and 33,000 likes. Which, again, that is just not too much of a surprise considering how much we've been sending them. And you can also, in addition to this theft, it's also astonishing to know how much stuff we're paying for. Such as we're paying for the government pensions over there, paying for small businesses, the military. Seemingly everything we're paying for. One would think Europe would contribute more, but I guess that's too much to ask. Now, going to the comments section, we have Luke Zaleski, again, a contrarian chiming in, as some might say. And again, he's very much left on the political aisle of X Twitter. He's very active in these political posts. And he says, quote, Putin isn't going to be your tennis partner, unquote. Which, I'm not sure if he only has a modicum of intelligence or near zero. He did get 4 likes, though, so 4 people did like that. I'm not, maybe we'll let this, I was going to say, I'll pull it up right now. Granted, he's considering that Vivek wants to play tennis with Putin. Which, now we have to know, does Putin play tennis? I mean, I know he does, I've read he does jiu-jitsu. No, I guess, Daniel Medvedev. Oh, that's not, does Vladimir. Forgot how common that name is, I suppose. Let's see. No, they're all talking about Daniel Medvedev. Yeah. It eludes me at the moment the pronunciation, but all the articles are talking about how countries are banning this player for competing because he's from Russia. So, not sure what Luke is really thinking, or no, I don't think he's thinking at all. Now, one of the first comments comes from Paul Zupa, and he says, quote, 40 million is nothing compared to the world of Pentagon incompetence. And he has not a GIF, but he has rather a meme, and the meme says, quote, the Pentagon can't account for 63% of nearly 4 trillion in assets. DoD regularly buys parts and equipment it doesn't need because it can't keep track of parts of equipment it already owns. That got 121 likes. Wild Bill NC says, quote, the Biden regime is compromised and giving away taxpayer money to known crooks, unquote, getting 47 likes. Let's see here. Red Wave Press says, quote, Ukraine is one of the most corrupt countries in the world. American funds are not being used to fight Russia. They are being used by high-ranking Ukrainian officials for their lavish lifestyles. Follow if you agree, unquote, getting 58 likes. Let's see here. Going down, got a couple more here. Proud Army Brat says, quote, this has been happening since the onslaught, all on purpose, unquote, getting 48 likes. A Muse, although it's a picture of a Star Wars stormtrooper, says, quote, reminder, Democrats block Kennedy amendment to establish Inspector General to oversee American aid to Ukraine. That got 110 likes, which is fascinating that it has become more and more of a partisan issue where, I mean, one would suspect if you're giving someone money or resources, you would want some accountability for that. Have someone overlooking the numbers, the facts, the figures. But apparently not. Let's see here. Woke GBT says, quote, I would be surprised if it was only 40 million was lost in corruption. The real number is likely higher by an order of magnitude. Unquote, getting 9 likes. Do one more here. Go Vivek Go says, quote, they won't even approve of a special inspector general for Ukraine assistance to oversee all taxpayer dollars flying out the door. Unquote, getting 7 likes. So overwhelmingly just pretty much near 100% like ratio. I mean, it's pretty. It's maybe we'll call it the inverse Chris Christie. It's one of those things where Chris Christie, I believe twice on the show, we looked at when he was Republican nominee, he's still trying to run. Now he walks or rolls. But he would post on X Twitter and get 0 positive responses. They happened twice, which is mathematically almost impossible because presumably Chris Christie has, family, friend, campaign staff allegedly. And yet 2 times he had 0 positive comments. So not even they took the time to tune in and help him on social media. So it'll be interesting to see if at the end of the day, it'd be fascinating to see if we can actually get the analytical data on how much money directly went to the war or resistance, whatever you want to call it, and how much really just went to their pockets. But unfortunately, I don't know if we'll ever be able to access that data. But that being said, time shall tell. Again, thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Again, I'm trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of February, so click that number. I greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a comment, a thumbs up or a thumbs down is a great way to give me a little additional insight as well as some tips on how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.